on this mic because the battery will finish. Ya, jadi very good. Wala tang emergency yan.
Last colour you did?
Hello sila. Ito ba yung pagkakataon nyo ba? Kailangan nila. It's the live stream on? Yeah, it is.
All right, welcome to the YSD Australasia International Junior Championships for 2025. It's day one, session one. It's a short day today. We're going to have all the team events this morning. And then after prayer time, we'll have the finals this evening. Big thank you to John Beasley and the Malaysian Cycling Federation for hosting the event. A huge thank you to Cycling over here in Malaysia. It started off 2 years ago with an invite to Australia, has grown in 3 years. This year, Singapore, Australia, Japan, New Zealand and Hong Kong all joining Malaysia in this wonderful velodrome, the National Velodrome of Malaysia in Nilai. PCP today, Louise Jones from Australia, UCI Commissaire, Commonwealth gold medalist and Olympian. The session today here in local time will be 10 till 12. We'll then have a 3-hour break. We'll be back at 3 o'clock local time. We start off this morning with event 1A, which is the team under 17 team pursuit. And the ladies are all in marshalling, waiting to go. We've got Ava Rogers, Isabella Potts, Nicola Morris and Sienna Monteith. They'll be followed by Australia A, April Paddy, Sienna Tinkler, Grace Hunter and Isla Shaw. I'm told the teams are mixed. So not necessarily ranked A and B. Then we'll follow on with event 2A, the men's under 17 team pursuit qualifying. Great to see so many young riders from around Asia. We've seen riders from these nations go on to represent their countries at Worlds and Olympic level. We have some Junior Worlds teams here competing at this fantastic event. Lucy Potts here helping me today. One of our gun switches from the live stream that we host in Australia. The live streaming today hosted by Malaysian Cycling Federation. They do a fantastic job. Our first team from Australia, Ava Rogers, Potts, Morris and Monteith are ready. "50 seconds on the clock. It's about 30 degrees outside, I'm told, but it's beautiful inside this air-conditioned velodrome. Clock has been reset and we start again. 40 seconds on the clock. A good start out of the blocks there from Ava Rogers with the big blingy wheels. The Western Australias all have the big blingy deep dish wheels. Very early in the season for these riders getting themselves organised. The first time that they've ridden together. It took them a lap to get organised. Nicola Morris a little off the start, but they're all together now and looking good. Isabella Potts on the front. And just looking around to see if we've got any live timing.
Can you see any timing anywhere? Oh. You might have to get your phone out and time them for the next one.
Please. Well, okay. Ladies come around again. It's Morris who's on the front. She will relinquish the front there to Monteith. Monteith in the green and gold, multiple national champion at track cycling in Australia. She leads them around for a lap. We're just looking for 6 laps to go. Look up to the board and we have some splits there. 1:59.245 is the full lap split of lap 6. Rogers on the front as she rolls off and back to Potts. First lap was a little sketchy, but they've been in great formation since, riding right down there on the black line, looking very composed. That was a 2:26.749 half lap split, the 7th lap. Into the 8th lap now, 2:35.972, the split after 8 laps. Nicola Morris on the front as they come and get instructions from their handler to pick it up. 2:55.057, 9 laps down, 2 laps to go. Full lap turns in the main, and as I say that, 3/4 lap turn. Monteith now on the front. 3:14.149 is the split after 10 laps. They get the bell. Monteith on the front. She rolls up. All 4 riders going to make it to the finish. It's the time of the 3rd rider that is the one that counts, and they stop the clock with a 3:50.464. Average speed of 37.5 kilometres, and a great way to start the championships for those 4 young ladies to get their head into the game on a new velodrome. Great opportunity to get some international racing into the legs. At a young age, coming over here for the YST Australasia International Junior Championship. All right, now Australia B, April Paddy, Sienna Tinkler, Grace Hunter and Isla Shaw. The time to beat, 3:50.464. Just the 2 teams in this first event. And then we'll move on to the under 17 men's team pursuit, 5 teams two Malaysian teams, Selangor and Perak, Australia, Hong Kong and New Zealand. But all eyes now on the front straight. And it's April Paddy that's in the gate. Tinkler from Victoria. Isla Shaw from Western Australia. Grace Hunter from Queensland. "30 seconds on the clock." Paddy, generally very quick out of the gate. We'll see how this team can keep it together in the first lap. 20 seconds on the clock. And a good start from Paddy. No problem for rider number 2 there. They're all together. Half lap, and they're looking good. First lap down, it's a 23.914. Paddy rolls off. That's Isla Shaw from Victoria on the front. That's a 43.247 is their split after 2 laps. Tinkler on the front now from Western Australia. The handler's asking for a bit more. 1:02.620 after 3 laps as they head down the back straight. They're looking good. Now Hunter on the front. She appears to have picked up the pace just a little bit coming down the front straight. They head down the back straight. They're looking good. They wouldn't have ridden together before. And perhaps they had the opportunity yesterday, but that would have been it. Grace does a full lap and the handler's happy with that time, 1:39.5. 6 laps to go. The lads from Selangor are ready. They're up next, the first of the men. 1:58.6 the time there. Back to Isla Shaw on the front again as they come around. It'd be interesting to see what the handler indicates to them this time. Pick up the pace. So they get the message to pick the speed up just a little bit. 2:16 is the split after 7. Isla now is out and they're down to 3 riders. April Paddy just off the wheel of Grace Hunter on the back there a little bit, but she closes back in now down the back straight. 2:36.6 was the split. 3 laps on the lap board as they come around to the front straight again. Grace Hunter. Tinkler there just overlapping the wheel a little bit, wanted to go quicker. In third wheel, she'll get her chance shortly. So Australia A just getting the indication from the coach to pick up the speed. That was 3:14.5. 10 lap split. They're going to come around and get the bell. And it'll be the West Australian to drag them home. And she picks up the pace. The pace has really been picked up. You could see that Tinkler was really itching to pick up the pace, but she's dropped Paddy, and the time is on the last wheel, so it's not always the best, but that's what you learn by coming over and doing international championships. It was a 3:52.619. So that was 2.2 seconds behind the first team, Team B. So Rogers, Potts, Morris and Monteith have taken that one out. Paddy, Tinkler, Hunter and Shaw, a great ride. But just a little bit off the pace of the first team. All right, moving on now to event 2A, and it's Selangor. The team that are up first. As I said, 5 teams competing here in this under-17 team pursuit. This is where I start to struggle with the pronunciation. I apologise in advance. I've just got the heads up from John that Manglish is accepted in the commentary, but only that he has no choice. So Nafal, Ada, Aidit, Harif and Zafrul in the gate, ready to open up this under-17s men's team pursuit. 30 seconds on the clock. All right, well, they're out of the gate and into their work. Rider 3 was very quick with the start there. They're looking pretty good as they head down the back straight. They're all going to get all bunched up and into their formation. The first split coming up, and it's a 22.1. A good start. Lads looking very good as they head down the back straight for the second time. 10 laps on the lap board. $39.7 the split after 2. Well, Asia is known for sprint power, but really starting to develop endurance riders as well. As rider there, not such a great swing, but very quick to get back on to the back of this group. 1:15 the split. And it's Aidit on the front, leading them down the back straight. There's 7 laps on the lap board. Harith swings off. Good transition from the front to the back there. These guys are looking really good as they come around with 6 laps on the lap board. We look for the split. 1:53. Nafal rolls off the front. $2.11, and that's Nafrul, and he's almost run into the back of his teammate there. He's swinging off the front, hasn't been great, but he's got so much power. Nellie's telling the boys to pick up the pace. you get the feeling that Nafril's going to be the rider to bring them home. He's got a lot of spare power out there by the look. As they head down the back straight, 2:39.972, the 8.5 lap split. 2:48. Encouragement from the handler on the coat as they head down the back straight. They've only got 2 laps to go. First team will go into first position. They'll come round and get the bell. They're down to 3 riders and looking forward to seeing the big guy bring these guys home. Nafril. $3.25 is the split. The rider on the front is staying on the front. Nice compact formation as they come into the last turn. And it's a 3:42.243. So the first of 5 teams, and that is the hot seat time. Just watching rider 3 there at the start. He was so quick off the start, and I know that sometimes back home you've got a rider that has a tendency to go a bit quick, and sometimes you hold them back a little when you have the opportunity, when it's not commissaires holding them. We move now to the second Malaysian team, Perak. Raski, Alif, Ilman, Hanif. Gilman with the all gold frame. I've got to say, love that frame. So 3:42.243, the time to beat. Selangor sitting in the hot seat. .30 seconds on the clock. The yellow team of Perak. Raski out of the gate. Down into the back straight. Little bit of work to do for rider 3 and 4. But that's okay, they will catch up. 21.931. I think that's the fastest first lap we've had. Perak team looking good. 39.251 the split after 2 laps. Tight formation as they come around turn 4. split is 56.981. That rider number 4 just struggling a little to get back onto the wheel. That's Alif, but he's back where he needs to be now. 1:15.53 is the split. Gold member there on the back, looking good. Back to our original formation with Rusky, 1:34. Looking good as they come over for lap 6, 1:53. .212. The split, 4 laps to go as they head down the back straight. They've looked good all race, these guys. They're nice and tidy, riding down low. .232. Illman on the front as they came down the finishing straight on that last lap, 2:42. The half lap split. First of the Australian teams, the only Australian team coming up next. Back to the original formation, 2:51. The original order, 2 laps to go. It's a 3:42 that they're chasing to get themselves into the hot seat. He's done a mountain of work there. Is he going to get back on the back? He is. They get the bell, and it's Azir Mohammed Hanif who rolls off, and off the back it's the third wheel that matters, and that is the wheel of Rusky. 3:42 is the time that they're after, and they've done a 3:47.219. So Selangor will stay in the top spot after 2 heats. Good ride there from the guys. Very tidy ride as the Australian team of Felix Crossman, Harrison Lace, Jack Pinozo and Joshua Moore come out onto the boards. Little bit unconventional there from Australia with the first rider getting in last. 30 seconds on the clock. 3 minutes and 42 seconds the time to beat. Well, out in unison there, the lads, and they're being led out by Jack Pinozo from Victoria. Felix Crossman, a little bit of work to do to get on the back. He'll be okay. 21.9, so a solid first lap. Now, they're into their work now, they're all together. 38.8. Onto the front straight now, being led around by the South Australian of Harrison Lace. Now Felix Crossman from Queensland, 8 laps on the lap board. .113 the split. 1 lap terms for the lads, back to Pinozo. .130 rolls up, and the New South Wales rider of Joshua Moore takes the Australian under-17 team pursuit team round turn 3 and turn 4 with 6 laps on the lap board, split of 1:46.9. Plenty of encouragement from the crowd as I head down the back straight. It's Harrison Lace leading him into turn 3. Felix Crossman in second wheel. 3 minutes 42, the time they're looking for. They're looking quick. Harrison rolls up. Felix goes back to the front again. Felix Crossman, 2:21, very tall. Pinozo back on the front again. Handler asking for a little bit more. It looks like a good pace, doesn't it? It looks like a good pace. 2:54.7, 2 laps to go. Joshua Moore now on the front. They get the bell. Pinozo rolls up, and it's Harrison Lace who's going to bring them home. Down to 3 riders, they're going quick. Into turn 3. They'll swing out of turn 4. No, they won't. And a 3:28.64 takes them into the hot seat. A great time there. Pinozo a bit frustrated with his teammates not swinging out of the way as they came into the front straight. We've seen a couple of teams do that, but a good time, very good time, 3:28.64. All right, that brings us to heat number 4. Lei Chun Ming and Yin from Hong Kong. These guys had a big warm-up and looked very quick. A bit of slapping going on from rider number 1. We don't often see that with the enduros. The sprinters are constantly slapping themselves. "20 seconds on the clock." All right, Hong Kong into their work. That is Chun that leads them out for the first lap. Didn't appear to get the timing quite right on the gate. That could just be his particular technique as they come round to stop the clock for the first time. 23.229. Chun staying on the front. You get the feeling that he might be the fourth rider there to do a big effort at the front of the race. We might just see one more effort from Chun. Hong Kong looking really good as they head down the back straight. .56.9 the split. 8 laps to go. A little bit outside the time of Australia. But early days, 8 laps still to go. It's Ming that leads them round and down the back straight now for lap number 7. They're very tight. Really riding well as a team, Hong Kong. Yin on the front now. 1:31 was the split after 7. They've actually brought the time down on Australia. Australia in the hot seat at the moment, but this team from Hong Kong is not far off. New Zealand up next. Someone said that New Zealand were very noisy coming into the hotel. They like to party, the New Zealanders. They're always lots of fun to be around. Lay on the front, Ethan Lay on the front, he rolls off. 2:26 is the split. .244, slipping away from the time of Australia, but looking very good as a team out there, riding well. Very tight formation as they come round for the next split of 3:02. They're going to come around and get the bell. They're down to 3 riders and they've got Chun, big strong rider, driving them home. No surprise. Thought maybe he wasn't out there for the duration, but big strong finish. A bit of a fan on the finish line. And a time of 3:37.945. So that puts them in second place, with one team to come, that being New Zealand. Fantastic time there from Hong Kong, and a very pretty team pursuit to watch. If anyone is going to challenge Australia, it is generally New Zealand. Both Keast, Dalton and Crampton. So the time to beat is Australia's time of 3:28.64. 30 seconds on the clock. New Zealand very strong in the junior team pursuit. What can they do here? Good start from New Zealand. May have been a tiny bit early, hard to tell. Dalton on the front. New Zealand looking good from the get-go. First lap split faster than Australia by 0.4 of a second. It's very early, but a very quick start from New Zealand. .59 the split as they head down the back straight. .53.36. They're 2 seconds up on the time from Australia already. Watch this New Zealand team. They'll just build stronger and stronger. 1:09.388 as they head down the back straight. Fourth rider just a little bit off the pace, trying to get back in contact but can't do so. They've started very quick. Will it cost them at the back end, or was that the plan? We'll soon find out. It's Crampton on the front in the red. He rolls off. And New Zealand posting a cracking time here. Their opener at the YSD Australasia International Junior Championships. Dalton rolls off. Missed that split at 5 laps, and it's going very quickly. 1:58. 4 laps on the lap board as they head down the back straight, and they are looking very, very quick. They're all on training wheels, 2:15. Three laps to go. This is rapid. .231. That's Crampton on the front. This is going to be a very quick time. New Zealand absolutely nailing this team pursuit. Big effort there from Crampton. He rolls off. They come around to get the bell. Dalton rolls off. We eagerly await to see the time. The half lap split, 3:13. They fan out and stop the clock at 3:20.866. Fastest time by 8 seconds, and a very powerful performance from the team of New Zealand. Both Keith Dalton and Crampton. So New Zealand finishing on top spot there for the under-17 men's team pursuit. Australia finishing in second place, and Hong Kong finishing in third place of that event. We move now to event number 3A. 3 teams in the women's under-19 team pursuit: Malaysia, Japan and New Zealand. Abriel, Noor, Idrisha and Alicia Saiful Nizam. And these guys look very professional. They've all got the double discs, matching helmets, that beautiful Malaysian skin suit. 30 seconds on the clock. There's right, good start there from Abriel. Seems well, just had my head down. I heard another noise, but that wasn't a gun. So it's a 22.9 opening lap. And my word, these girls look good out there. Little wobbly on turn 4 from Alicia. You'd be forgiven for thinking it was the same rider on each one of those bikes. These ladies look so similar. They're all in the same position. They've all got the same gear on. They're almost an identical frame. The bikes, the only thing, and the wheels, decals on the wheels, only real indicator between them apart from the number. And they look fantastic. Idrisha Abdul Razak rolls off the front and to the back. It's a 1:24 half lap split. 11 laps on the lap board. 1:33.477 for Malaysia. Fantastic turn there. Short turn on the front this time. Alicia Saiful Nizam with a half lap turn. The pace seems to have really slowed now. 9 laps to go. They're still looking very good as a team. A very quick start from Malaysia. 8 laps on the lap board as they come around for the 8th lap. Japan up next. 2:29 the split. Really starts to hurt. Really starts to hurt in a team pursuit, so they tell me. Plenty of encouragement from their handler down on turn 1. Six laps on the lap board. Malaysia coming down the front straight. Rider 2:08 on the front. Davia Ariana Azif rolls to the back. A very quick first half of the race. Now they're trying to hold on. 3:26 with 4 laps to go. A little bit of a crack appearing now between rider 2 and 3. Instructions from the handler, but down to 3 riders now. .405 the split. Malaysia with 2 laps on the lap board. The 3 remaining riders are nice and tight. .424 the split. The third rider there just struggling to get onto the back, but now gets back on. .443 the split. And there's some very uncomfortable body language coming from the Malaysian team. They've put everything into this. They come around turn 4. They fan out a good finish, and it's 5:02.133 for the team of Malaysia to open up event number 3 and the under-19 women's team pursuit. Up next, Japan. Chutsu, Shira, Nishihara, and Mitani. Japan, up next. 5:02. The first time, the fastest time. Much like Malaysia, the Japanese team have all got the same skin suit, the same helmet. Always looks very professional. The same sock covers, the same looks ominous as they roll up to start and get their Australasian YSD Australasia International Championships underway. Japan bringing some bling. Araya and Campag wheels, top of the pops. A little bit of a kerfuffle there, but all sorted out. Still 20 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Very synchronised start there from Japan, and they head into their work. What can they do here? New Zealand to follow. I suspect there's a couple of junior world teams here. This is one of them, I'd say. .23.34. Slower start than Malaysia. They came out of the gate with almost perfect synchronicity, and then at the exact same time they all went from the drop bars to the TT bars to the pursuit bars. They are in unison, this Japanese team, as you would expect, and they look very good as they stop the clock with a 57.3. Still slower than the start. Malaysia did have some difficulties in the back end. They went out pretty quick, but early days. New distance for the under-19s. It's a long way, 4 kilometres. Tsutsi on the front as they head down the back straight. Japan looking ominous. They stop the clock at 1:49. And they've gone 2 seconds faster. They're down to three riders now. That would be planned. Nishihara taking them down the straight on lap number 8. 3 riders to go. 2:24. Now 5 seconds up on the fastest time. They're going to set a new fastest time here. A time for New Zealand to chase. Mackenzie Keast beat Beale and Sayers up next. The Kiwi men went very quick. It's a little bit of a little ugly there on the back straight, but it's all sorted out now. 2:59 with 5 laps on the lap board. .3:17. 4 laps to go. Very compact 3 Japanese riders heading into turn 3. New Zealand up next. The fastest time set by Malaysia in heat number 1. Looks to be beaten here. .3:53. 2 laps to go. .4:10.9. The split. Crack starting to show with a bit of a gap there from rider 1 and 2. That'll be rectified now with rider 1 rolling off the front. They get the bell. The rider on the front rides straight off to let one of the riders finishing stronger. That was Shira. So they come around turn 3. Japan looking to set the fastest time in the under-19 women's team pursuit. The time for New Zealand to chase, and it's 4:47.329. A great ride there from Japan. A very well organised and well drilled team. Both teams looking very organised out there on the boards. Now the New Zealand under-19 women. New Zealand famous for punching above its weight as a time to beat. .4:47.329. .40 seconds on the clock. The third team in the women's under-19 team pursuit qualifier, Mackenzie, Keast, Beale and Sayers. 30 seconds with the time of 4:47 to beat. Right, a good start from New Zealand. Sayers is rider number 1. First lap split coming up, 23.4. Slowest first lap so far, but it's really pretty meaningless. Sayers didn't get very well out of the gate. It's always interesting coming to a new track with a new gate, new sounds. Sayers rolls off the front. Bunch of Aussie riders blocking the view, hugging their mums, which they haven't seen in a few days. New Zealand, 116. Keast on the front. Where does 116 sit? It's still the slowest time so far, but that doesn't mean too much at this point. It's how you finish that matters. We've seen two teams really struggle to finish. Can New Zealand hold on with a strong finish? Keast rolls off the front. They head down the back straight. They're looking good. Mackenzie, she's on the front. She's going to stay on the front. Pace probably just dipped a little bit there, obviously towards the end of the turn. Rolls off and gives the lion's share of the work to Sayers. Sayers, Beale, Keast and Mackenzie out there for New Zealand. That split was 2:10. Japan still looking the quickest at the moment by 3 seconds. What can New Zealand do in the latter part of this? They're at the halfway mark. Sayers staying on the front. She's done a lot of work out there. Sayers rolls up. New Zealand. Beale now. .246, Japan 2:41 at the same lap. But as I say, the hard bit is yet to come. Can they hold on? Japan sitting in the hot seat at the moment. Keast on the front. Plenty of encouragement from the handler down on turn number 1. On turn number 1. This is the 3 teams in the under-19 women's team pursuit. Japan sitting in the hot seat with a 4:47. New Zealand now a split of 3:23. The Kiwis still 4 riders, still looking good as they head down the back straight. It's really starting to hurt now. The under-19s coming to terms with this extra kilometre added to bring parity with the boys. It's a long way. So Japan still hold the top spot with 2 laps to go. How can New Zealand finish off? Beale rolls up. I think that's Keast on the front now. The second last time they come out of turn 4. They get the bell. New Zealand 4:37. The 2 riders have pulled off. A little bit of confusion there for New Zealand, but the rider on the back is doing a mountain of work to close the gap. The gap was too big to Japan anyway, but it's a 4:55 .65. Japan take that event out with a 447.329, followed by Malaysia with a 502. That brings us to the end of event number 3. We move to event number 4, the under-19 men's team pursuit. A good field of 6 teams. Australia not represented. Malaysia, Selangor, Hong Kong fielding 2 teams, Japan and New Zealand. Okay, the Selangor team, a pretty casual start there from the lads. I actually thought maybe there was a false start. It just looked a bit tentative, but it's a 24-second first lap, but they're into their formation now and looking good as they head down the back straight for the second time. Tight formation. First cab off the rank for event number 4, the under men's 19 team sprint, team pursuit. What am I talking about? Akil Dawizi, Harold Rudin. Help me, John. Kimi. John's not giving me any help with the pronunciation of that one. We need some nicknames. Down the back straight, and Selangor looking good. Hong Kong making their way to the marshalling area. .132.99. 12 laps to go. .151. One of the great things about this event is it gives young people the opportunity to travel and compete internationally. It's a fantastic velodrome, and Malaysia are fantastic hosts. But getting used to travelling and competing, eating food you may be not used to, and competing, all the things that you have to cope with when you're travelling internationally. Wonderful experience. Selangor split their 2:26. They're still looking good. With 8 laps to go. Selangor. Harold Rudin takes them. He's a strong-looking rider. He takes them that last lap. There's 6 laps to go. It's Dawizi who rolls off now. Right down on the coat as they head down that back straight. They're taking the shortest route, these guys. They're riding well. 3:36 the split there. Lucy Potts sitting beside me, writing down all the lap times. She thought she was getting a holiday, poor little thing. John's quit. 4:12 the split there. There's only 2 laps to go. Selangor, they've spread it out just a little bit, but they've been riding really well. They've been riding down nice and low on the track. Yeah, 2 riders there roll up. Rider at the front and the rider at the back, but that was actually pretty well executed as they stopped the clock at 4.47393. A good ride there from Selangor. They started pretty quiet, but they got to a pace. They held it well. They rode together well as a team. They rode, didn't waste any of the track. They rode right down, down against the blue, but they finish up with a 4.47, and now Hong Kong. Kong Long Ying Chun, the 4 riders for Hong Kong. Again, this under-19 team were looking ominous in the warm-up. Big warm-up from the under-19 team from Hong Kong. Well, if you're watching us on the live stream, welcome to the YSD Australasia International Junior Championships for 2025. We're at Nilai in Malaysia at the National Malaysian Velodrome. Fantastic venue. 20 seconds on the clock for Hong Kong. Good start there from the rider in the gate. That's rider 177, that's Long. And into turn 3, and they're up nice and tight and together into the TT bars. 22.16 the first lap. The pace has picked up. Hong Kong, they've got this Long on the front has started with a rapid pace, but they're really moving. Chun on the front now, he's driving the pace. They're very close together. You could throw a tea towel over them, they're that close together as they come out of turn 4. Hong Kong looking good. 51.8 is the split. 12 laps to go. Will they be able to hold this pace? Kong rolls off the front. First kilometre was rapid. Sung Kwon from New Zealand watching them intently. New Zealand team up event number 6. 138.86 the split. Long on the front as they head down the back straight. Long with the black helmet. Long off the front. Chen now doing the work in the wind. .210 is the split. Kong, Long, Yin and Chen, the 4 riders from Hong Kong, doing a very good job of it in the first half of this under-19 men's team pursuit. Kong on the front now. Chen Si Kong. Yin. Lo Chi Yin was on the front that lap. They're losing a little bit of their formation with 5 laps to go. They pull it together as they come out of turn 4. They're down to 3 riders. That's Lo Chi Yin, who's done his work for the team. It's 3:16 the split with 3 laps to go. Malaysia up next, getting some last-minute instructions from the coach. 3:33.633 the split. 2 laps to go. Hong Kong looking good. They started very quick. .350.34. They get the bell. Last lap, Kong rolls up. Long on the front. The big man bringing them home down the back straight. 4:16 the split with half a lap to go. It's going to be a new fastest time. 4:24.088. That takes Hong Kong into number 1 spot.
Kim can help film too. Erzam, Darwish, Hakim, Zwan, Lau Wan 4 riders from Malaysia. 4:24, the time to beat. Ten seconds. Well, big start there. Big start from Malaysia. Erzam. Looked like Awang coming out of the gate there. It was a beautiful start. All right. They're all together as they cross the line for the first time. 21.4. The fastest first lap by a mile.
but it's very early days. Darwish on the front. Well, we saw Hong Kong come out very quickly. Now we've got him. Oh, there's a fall. They've clipped wheels, the Malaysians. It looks like that they're okay. I think more disappointed than anything. Just a touch of wheels there on the back straight. Coach is shaking his head. He's not happy. There was only 1/10 of a second between Hong Kong and Malaysia after the third lap. And both riders are up and walking, which is great. Everyone's okay. Very disappointed body language coming from the back straight. All right, so Hong Kong, the second team from Hong Kong, that'll bring them up sooner. Hon, Fei, Sing and Hin. It always fascinates me that sprinters are always slapping themselves, and enduros tend not to, but we're seeing a bit more slapping of oneself in the enduro ranks these days. John Beasley was a big slapper in his day. He was just usually slapping other people, not himself. And it's great to see he's still doing that today. 30 seconds on the clock for the second of the Hong Kong team. And being held up in part by their teammates. Great to see. Winding up a big gear in the is Mei Ching Hon, first rider. And nice and tight together as they come out of turn number 4. 21.787. That's the fastest time we've had so far in a first lap. Doesn't mean a lot, but they started quick. 36.7, the exact same time as the other team from Hong Kong after the second lap. We don't know the composition of these two teams from Hong Kong. The Australian teams tend just to be a mix of riders, not necessarily an A and B team. Not sure with Hong Kong, but very, very similar times. 1:07. They're 1 second behind their teammates at the same juncture, but it's still very early, just through the first kilometre. 11 laps to go for Hong Kong. 1:22.4, and they're back on parity with their teammates. The first of the teams from Hong Kong sitting in the hot seat at the moment with the fastest time. 1:37.699. That's an average speed of 55.4 kilometres, so it's moving along. 153.27. Now, this second team from Hong Kong moves ahead of their teammates. 2:08.91. Team made up of Mei Ching Hon, Mei Yik Fei, Ma Yik Sin and Tung Ho Hin. They say Hong Kong fielding two teams, 2:24.8. 6 laps to go, and they look very, very good. Mei Yik Fei on the front. They head down the back straight. Now the pace is starting to drop, as you would expect. 3 seconds up on the fastest team at the same juncture. 2:57. Not long to go now. 4 laps on the lap board. 3:13.31. Average just under 56 kilometres an hour. $3:28.9. Mei Yik Sin rolls off in a very short turn. I think we're going to be down to 3, or are we? No, he's going to get onto the back. 3:45.54 for Hong Kong. They're 5 seconds up. They come into the bell. Hong Kong, the full complement of riders. It's Mei Ching Hon on the front as they head down the back straight. The 4th rider sits up. This time doesn't count. They fan out. It's a good finish. 4:17.945. A really good time there from Hong Kong. Strong finish in the end. They just picked up seconds on the previous team from Hong Kong every one of those last laps. And they go to the hot seat. All right, up next, Japan. Marasi, Yoshida, Matsuda, and Nakatani. The teammates from Hong Kong waiting on the back straight with their to give the road bikes to their teammates that have just ridden. Good to see the riders supporting each other in that way. Now Japan, what can they do? Twenty seconds on the clock for Japan. Again, like we saw with the ladies, a perfect synchronised start for Japan. Well, it's Teams Day today in Nilai in Malaysia. Team pursuits this morning. Team sprints coming up next. 22.281 for Japan in their first lap. We'll have a break, 37.773. Lap number 2, we'll have a break from 12 till 3 local time, and then be back for all the finals and the presentations. I believe there are some dignitaries coming this evening to the presentations. The Malaysian Cycling Federation enjoys the wonderful support of a great number of people, in particular the YSD Foundation. I believe there'll be some representatives from YSD here tonight, which is wonderful. Matsuda. You see now the Japanese team using the track. They're rolling out to the red line and then rolling back to the black line. You see riders using the track in that way, particularly in the individual pursuit and team pursuit. We've seen some of the other teams really stick to the red line, but the Japanese are rolling out to the sprinters lane, edge of the sprinters lane and back again. They're looking good. The time of Japan and Hong Kong at the same time, identical time. You can't 1.37, this next split 1.53. They're doing the exact same time. We might need a couple of extra dot points there, Lucy. These teams are so close together. Japan 2:09.25. Well, you'd be wrong in thinking that Malaysia is only the home of incredible sprinters. We see here a display of great opportunity for track enduros to get some early season work. A lot of enduros in Europe at the moment, but the track enduros, an excellent opportunity for a hit out before World Championships in August in Holland. Well, Japan and Hong Kong have been neck and neck. They're both on the same lap times. As we go another lap, and Japan now picked up in that last lap 2 seconds on Hong Kong. They're down to 3 riders. They have started very quick. Can they finish it off? They've got 1 kilometre to go. Marasi on the front. So Japan, in the latter stages of this race, have moved to the lead. 3:27. They've dropped back to 1 second. They lost that one rider. They were 3 seconds up on 1 lap. Two seconds up now. What are we at now? They're now 2 seconds up. So can they finish it off? 2 laps to go. 4:17.945 is the fastest time. They get the bell. The rider on the front is staying on the front. That's Matsuda, Sotaro Matsuda. They're flying down the back straight. How much time can they pick up? They come out of turn 4. Japan, they fan across the track and they finish off with a 4:13.501. That's the fastest time. Japan moved to the hot seat. Hong Kong and Japan, you couldn't pick them. There was nothing between them in the last, up till the last kilometre, but Japan really finished strong and an excellent time, 4:13.501. All right, so Hong Kong previously had the fastest time with 4:17.945. Japan come out and beat that with 4:13.501. Up next, Dalton, Kwon, Grieve and Turnbull from New Zealand. What can they do? So you're watching the under-19 team sprint qualifier. I think I may have mentioned earlier, winning the qualifier. Of course, you don't win a qualifier. Riders vying for gold and bronze finals this evening, which will be after 3 o'clock. 30 seconds on the clock. Dalton, Quan, Grieve and Turnbull. All right, the Kiwis are out. They're winding up those big gears of theirs. And it's good to see that the team of Malaysia are back in the marshalling area, so they're going to get the opportunity to post a time. That's great news. 21.79 the first split, very fast. First split, very fast first split from New Zealand, same time as the second team from Hong Kong, 36.7. Again, identical time to the team from Hong Kong, who had a very fast start. It fell away a little bit towards the end. That's Quan on the front. One 1:06.96. Fastest time so far after the first kilometre, New Zealand. What can they do here? Chasing a 4:13. And it's Hunter Dalton on the front, dragging them down that back straight. A powerful lineup from New Zealand. Grieve in the Otago kit on the front. The only rider in the blue skin suit. And he's doing a few laps on the front. He rolls up now. Halfway, 2:08.459. And a very similar time. Very similar. Hello. Very similar time. Now they're down to 3 riders. Can't really read the number in the back pocket of that rider. It might be, yeah, can't work it out. It's all scrunched up in that little pocket. 2:39. There's really nothing in it between Hong Kong, Japan and New Zealand. We have had a few laps where the 3 teams' times have been very much the same. 2:55.72. You expect New Zealand to finish very strong. Japan did finish very strong. Japan and New Zealand are neck to neck, 2:55 on the last lap. The 3:11.9, still the same time with Japan, sorry. Getting to the pointy end now where it really starts to hurt. 3:27, same time as Japan. Very similar time to Japan. The big man from Otago is doing all the work at the latter part of the race. I think he's on his 2nd or 3rd lap there on the front. The split is 3:43 in the previous lap. They've been neck and neck with Japan. The split is 3:58. It's the same, come on, it's the same time as Japan. It's 4:13.501. The big man from Otago is trying to bring them home. How can they go? 4:13 is the time that they're after. The third rider comes around. 4:13.999. 0.4 of a second. Japan take it out. So they're in the hot seat now, of course. Malaysia yet to come. Malaysia might be just riding for a time here, not sure. I expect so. But what a battle. You look at the splits and there was nothing in it. So great ride there from New Zealand, and they may have secured themselves a spot in the gold final. It's the final this afternoon that counts. Malaysia now a bit of a bingle on the fourth lap in their previous effort, but they're back out here again. Fantastic skin suit, that Malaysian skin suit. If only they made it in 10XL, I'd grab one. All right, good start, getting on top of that massive gear. That's Erzam. He's the man in black. Oh, the look of disappointment on these riders' faces and in their demeanour after that crash before. Nobody hurt, thank goodness, but they were disappointed with themselves, and it's great to see them back here, out here having another crack. Darwish with the red Ferrari stripes on the helmet. He's on the front now. And Hakim is in second wheel, and when Hakim will move to the front. So a big turn on the front from Darwish. Now Hakim takes them down the back straight. We just have a look at some of these splits.
Yeah, that should be there.
All right, the K's down, 1:23 is the split. That is pretty much on parity with the first of the teams from Hong Kong. Darwish on the front again, and he's got Hakim on his wheel. Hakim now goes to the front. One short turn from him, and one now goes to first wheel, just checking it was him. .2:12. These guys have already been out there and done a few laps, but the big man of Erzam has done his work to get things going, and he leaves it up to these three riders of Darwish, Hakim and one to finish things off. They're looking good as they head down the back straight. This is the hard part. Kim just losing a little bit of touch there, but he got back very quickly. They're starting to spread out a little bit now. .301.75. Malaysia seeded third, and they're sitting very close in respect to times with Hong Kong, the first of the teams from Hong Kong, 318.35 the next split. A little bit slower than Hong Kong 1, I will say, the first of the teams. 335.08. The handler getting right into their face there as they come around and communicating with the team what he wants from them. This team from Malaysia had a spill and hit the deck a little bit earlier, but they've come out and got back onto the boards, and they're doing a great job as they head down the back straight for the second last time. Round turn 3. One's on the into the wind. He looks across. One's really trying to get his team across the line. They come down the back straight. They're really pushing. 4:17 was the last split. Looking for the time for the third rider, and it's 4:24.95. So unofficially, that has Japan and New Zealand in the gold final. And the first team of Hong Kong in the bronze final. The Malaysian team just missing out on the bronze final. But that they may have been just doing a time there, given the earlier incident, but nobody hurt. Great news. Congratulations to all those teams in the team sprints. The finals start this evening at this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Under 17s doing 3 kilometres. The under 19 men and women now doing 4 kilometres. Well, that's it for the team pursuits. We now move to the team sprints, the under 17 team sprints. Selangor, Australia B, Hong Kong, Australia A, New Zealand and Australia C lining up. Thank you. Did you offer the...
Yeah. Leave it.
Well, all the people with a short attention span will prefer these are only 3 laps. 30 seconds on the clock, and it's Selangor, Ariel, and Zafrul. All right, out of the gate, and Selangor. are into their work. The first rider breaks the speed barrier. Then rider 2 and 3 try to catch them right on the line. Coming down the front straight, he's done a good job. 20.95. A great start there from the first rider for Selangor. Down the back straight, rider 2. He's got a really high cadence. I mean, these guys are on restricted gearing, so you'll see a much bigger cadence. They get the bell, a really good turn over there, as close as you want. And the third rider now has the job of bringing them home. Down the back straight he goes, hugging the turn as he comes out of turn 3 and turn 4. The first time we're looking for. And we don't have a split on the last time there. Or was it?
That's not the third time, is it? 43.876.
All right, now Australia B. Now my understanding is the Australian teams aren't seeded, they're just mixed up. So A, B and C are just teams, not necessarily in that order, but we'll soon find out. So Australia B, Hugo Barnes, Kane Azzopardi and Tobias Zhu. All right, Australia B. Barnes, Azzopardi and Zell. Big start. Big, strong start from Barnes. He leads them down the back straight. Azzopardi second wheel and Tobias in third wheel. Azzopardi is right up Barnes's clacker as they come out the turn number 4. It's a 19.927, sub 20 first lap. That's a good first lap. Azzopardi now down the back straight. Tobias is looking very composed in third wheel. They get the bell, 35.344 or 844. Can't quite tell. Someone standing in front of the timer there, someone from New Zealand. As they come out of turn 4, they're going to stop the clock. 50.773.
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you.
50.773 for Australia B. Cracking time. If we could get that New Zealander to move away from the front of the timing would be awesome. All right, up next, Hong Kong. Ethan Lau, Lo Ka Chun and Yong Chung Ming. .773 is the time to beat. 30 seconds on the clock. Ethan, he's got a massive gear there, trying to get on. Chun, sorry. He's got a massive gear there, trying to get on top of it. He's winding it up now as they head down the back straight. High on turn 3, dives into turn 4. 21.386 is the split. Now onto rider number 2. They head down the back straight. $36.925 for rider number 2. Now Hong Kong. Look at the cadence on this rider as he comes out of turn 3. Round turn 4. 50.773 is the 52.058 for Hong Kong. 52, whoa, the time's just changed. 50.517. 50.517, fastest time. We've got 2 times up here, so I'm not sure which one's which. Yeah, Australia B, 50.773. I think Hong Kong were 52.058. Up next, Australia A, Lincoln Andrews, Benjamin Woods and Mitchell Stevens. All right, big slaps from the South Australian rider in the gate. And a good start. A good start. That's Mitchell Stevens. He leads them out. Mitchell Stevens, he's flying into this first lap. He comes around. He stops the clock. 19.682. It's the fastest time so far. Benjamin Woods now. Woods from Victoria. 0.437. Now it's Lincoln Andrews. Lincoln Andrews and 4. He goes high into turn 4. Lost a little bit of time there. He stops the clock. 50.038. 50.038 and the fastest time. Beating Australia B by just over half a second. All right, now New Zealand. Benson, Harvey, Samuel Boys, Carter Anthony Payne and Cooper Mick Nielsen. So this is heat number 5. Australia A fastest so far with 50.038. Australia B 50.773. Hong Kong 52.058. We didn't get a time for Selangor, but I believe it was 52, about 52.3. So Australia A sitting in the hot seat at the moment. There is another Australian team to come, but New Zealand will be looking to spoil the party. All right, big start from New Zealand. That's Nielsen. Nielsen, rider number 1. Rider number 3. Work to do, but no rush, plenty of time. This looks quick, 19.33. It's very quick. New Zealand off to an absolute flyer. Now, Benson. Now, Benson has got Payne on his back wheel, 33.8. Now Payne flying. Carter Anthony Payne down the back straight. He's drifted a little high. He's putting an enormous amount of work in. He's keeping the head down, keeping as enduro as possible. He's wrestling with the bike, 49.140. 49.140. Cracking time from New Zealand. That gets New Zealand into the gold medal final. Question is it going to be Australia A or Australia C that joins them? Well, what a time from New Zealand. 49.140. All right, that brings us to the heat number 6. There's 30 seconds on the clock. Riley Boyd, Trent Rensburg and Cooper Dunlop. Coops is in the gate. All right, good start from Australia C. They're looking good as they head down the back straight for the first time. Most of these teams won't have ridden together before. Great opportunity to get out and have a team sprint early in the season. 19.773. Great first lap there from Cooper Dunlop. Excellent first lap. They may yet get themselves into the gold final. They get the bell. The second lap is complete. That second lap is by Rensburg, giving plenty of encouragement to Riley Boyd. As they're heading down, he heads down turn 3. The Western Australian, what can he do? Can they get themselves into a final? 50.126. 50.126 gets them into the bronze final. So the gold final will be New Zealand and Australia A, unofficially, and the bronze final will be Australia B and Australia C. That was Riley Boyd in the gate. That was Cooper Dunlop who finished it off. Very quick ride there from Cooper. 50.7, 50.03, 49 and 50.12. Solid times for the under-17s at this time in the season. which is pretty much the off season, but it's wonderful to have this event at the YSD Australasia International Championships here in Nelai at the National Malaysian Velodrome. All right, moving along now to event 6A, the women's under-19 team sprint qualifying. Alexis Phillips, Shavi Tanksvali and Viana Najafian. First team in the under-19 team sprint. Phillips in the gate. All right, Alexis Phillips out of the gate, getting things wound up for her team. Shavi in second wheel, Viana in third wheel. What can they post for the others to chase? 5 teams in this competition. 22.934. Great start there from Alexis Phillips. Shavi Tanksvali now heads down the back straight. She's staying nice and high. Went high a little bit early, 40.327. I'm pretty sure she was getting instructions to move up, but moved up probably a bit early. Viana now finishing off for this Australia B team, and a fine ride, and they will post a 57.225. $57.225 for Phillips, Tanksvali and Viana. So this is event 6A, women's under-19 team sprint. Japan and Hong Kong composite team coming up now. Kyo, Shira and Nishihara. $57.225, the time to beat. Last year at lunchtime, the Malaysian Cycling Federation supplied us with chicken rice every day, and oh my gosh, I long for that chicken rice. It's the best. I think it was $2.50. I've just been thinking about it for the last hour. 30 seconds on the clock. The food in Malaysia is just unbelievable. Well, a bit of maybe an early start there for the Japanese rider, but she's off to an absolute flyer. That is right at 195. That is Nishihara, the rider from Hong Kong. Law Chin Kyu is right on her though as they come over for the split. 21.423. Not a bad first lap at all. Heading down the back straight, the rider from Hong Kong leads. That's Law Ching Kyu. She's going to stop the clock at 37.353. and that means it's Manami Shira who's going to finish it off for this composite team, the second heat, and stop the clock. Just waiting for that time, didn't pick up that time, but we will get it. .63. 53.63 for Japan, Hong Kong composite team. That takes them into the hot spot. 5 teams, so 1 team will miss out on the finals, but Malaysia up next. Some riders I recognise here. Janice, Akma and Sorta Hasbullah. This will be quick. Janice, very slight frame, but man, can she move a bike. 10 seconds. All right, and they're out and up and running. Malaysia, rider 217. Narul Akwa. Now she's starting to wind it up. See rider 2 just laying off. We'll close that gap. Laid off a little bit too much. At 22.194 first lap. Now coming out of turn 4, what can Malaysia do? 37.85, that was Janice Sweng Kili. Now Hasbullah, very fast rider, she's really pushing that bike out of turn 3, out of turn 4, right down on that black line. And it's a 53.667. Just outside of the Japan-Hong Kong composite team. Excellent ride there from Malaysia, 53.667. That puts them into second place with 2 teams to come and still a chance at the gold final. All right, now, Australia A. Maddie Pitt, Hope Harnetti and Vic Smith. Maddie Pitt in the gate, Victoria Smith rider 2. Harnetti rider 3, 10 seconds. All right, a good start there, and plenty of encouragement from the stands for Hope Madeline Pitt. Maddie Pitt, down the back straight she heads, around turn 4. What can she post? Looking for a spot in the finals at a 22.268. Now Victoria Smith, some work to do for Hope Harnetti, but she's closed the gap probably too quickly. She's got some pace. Victoria Smith, a good ride from Victoria, 37.6. Now, Hope Harnetti, she's got some work to do. She heads down the back straight. She closed the gap to Victoria Smith so quickly on that last lap. Has she got enough left in the legs to finish it off? 53.5. Fastest time so far. Australia into the gold medal, ride, 53.506. And now New Zealand. So Madeline Pitt, Hope Harnetti and Victoria Smith post the fastest ride, 53.506. Three fantastic legs there from the Aussies. Now New Zealand. At this stage, it looks like Australia A and New Zealand into the gold final. Japan, Hong Kong, Composite and Malaysia into the bronze final. Gardner, Collins and Newton, three very quick Kiwi sprinters. All right, New Zealand have been very strong in everything so far. Looking for a qualifying time into the gold final. New Zealand, Gardner, Collins and Newton. All right, New Zealand out and about. Gardner leads. They're looking for a 53.5 to get themselves into the gold final. Gardner out of turn 3, coming into turn 4. What has she got? Good time, 21 flat. Very good time from Gardner, fastest start. Collins now leading Newton down the back straight. This is going to be quick. The green machine on the track, 36.86. Now it's all with Piper. Newton. I hesitate because I've got in trouble for getting that wrong before. Piper, I can't remember. Newton, anyway, stops the clock, 54.027. 54.027. So that means Australia A and Japan, Hong Kong in the gold final, unless I'm mistaken. Malaysia and New Zealand into the bronze final. Unofficial, of course. John reckons I'm right. He runs the place, so I'm looking good. But Australia A, Madeline Pitt, Hope Harnetti and Victoria Smith. Qualifying fastest, Kyo Shira and Nushiara from Hong Kong, Japan. Qualifying second fastest. Which brings us to the last event of the morning, event 7A, the men's under-19 team sprint. And we're starting with Perak. Amar, Adam and Sun. Quansanteo from Perak. They're going to start proceedings. 6 teams. All right, Perak, and a false start. A full start for Perak. They'll come round and have another crack. So the Perak team made up of Amar, Adam and Kwan Santeo. All three of these riders on BT blades. Fantastic frame. "30 seconds on the clock. The team from Perak, Amar, Adam and Kwan Santeo. Clean start this time. It's Adam, rider number 1. Muhammad Adam Hakimi gets things going, and he's off to a flyer. Rider 2, he's got a little bit of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do, in fact. And it's a great start time, 21. 2:46. Amar, Imran. Now rider 2 and 3 are right there together as they come around the top end of the track, and they get the bell. They stop the clock at 37, and it's Kwan Santeo who's going to finish it off for Perak. It's a good looking team sprint, this one. Coming out of the top of the track, what can they post here? It's going to be a 52.92. 52.92 for Perak. Muhammad Amar, Imran, Muhammad Adam Hakimi and Kwan Santeo getting event number 7A underway, the under-19 team sprint. So for those watching on the live stream, this is the last event of the morning. And then so that'll be finishing at about lunchtime, local time. And so it'll be 3 o'clock local time that the finals kick off. There'll be the finals and the presentations. You don't want to miss the presentations. Now this team from Selangor, all right, plenty of encouragement from the coaching staff. I think this team from Selangor is the change to the script that was talked about this morning. I don't believe I have them on my start list, but they've done a great job first lap. They're all nice and tidy together. A very close changeover, 21.25 for the first split. Really close. Excellent changeover there between rider 1 and rider 2. Rider 2 now coming around, they get the bell. Another very good changeover, 36.25 is the time. And the final rider for Selangor, he's really putting some effort into these pedals as he heads around the top of the track. And he'll stop the clock with a 51.658. 51.658, the fastest time so far. So great work from Selangor there. They go into the hot seat as the fastest team sprint after 2 heats. Up now, it's Hong Kong. Chung Siu Kong, Feng Hua To, and Li Wan Chen. "30 seconds on the clock." Kong, rider number 1. Again, we see the teammates from Hong Kong holding, which is great to see. The teammates supporting each other. All right, Hong Kong B, they have 2 teams. This is the first of the teams, and that's Chung Siu Kong, who is leading out. You often see that the rider number 2 sits back, not usually that far back, but they lay off a little so they can accelerate. 20.684, that's the fastest first lap we've had so far. There was a bit of a gap there back to rider number 2. Laid off just a little bit too much, but that was a really quick time for the first lap. They get the bell. Rider number 2, 35.4. That was rider 176, Feng Wei Tu. That's the fastest time we've seen so far. And Li Wang Chun is heading down the back straight, and he looks to be flying. This will be a good time. This will be the fastest time. It's a sub 50, 49.872 for Hong Kong. And that's the fastest time we've seen so far. We still have 4 teams to go. But up next, it's the hosts, Daniel Luckman and Yu Ching Liang. I tell you, that Liang is an awesome rider. He's something special. I tell you, whenever I've been to an event and seen a Liang, they've always been world class. Excluding myself, of course. All right, so the host team of Malaysia, I came into immigration yesterday, and the immigration officer was questioning me whether I was legitimately going to a track cycling event. He asked me, name 1 cyclist. So I said, A Wang, and the smile on his face, it's like, oh, there's love for that guy. He said, yep, oh, you going to a real track cycling event? I said, you better believe it. Here they are, the young Aziz Awangs in the gate, 10 seconds on the clock, 49.872, the fastest. So the rider in the gate, I believe, is an under 15, or he's 15. What can they do here? The host team of Malaysia, under 19s. Well, this lap's good. 19.857, it's a good first lap. Oh, look at the body position on this second rider. They are flying. Lukman and Liang, they come around 33.8. That was Liang, best rider we've seen so far. Lukman, what can he do? Geez, he looks good on a bike, Lukman. He comes around turn 4. It's 49.872 is the fastest time. 47.991. Wow. Smashed the fastest time. What a ride from Malaysia. They know how to sprint. They put together good team sprints over here. What about Daniel? He's very young. Bright future ahead of them, these boys. All right, that brings out Japan. Nakamura, Toyota, Kugai. Shin Kugai from Japan. As we expect from Japan, just in the with the enduros, just the synchronicity between them. They're all just on the same page. Now the sprinters are out. It'll be really interesting to see this start. Of course, you can make a very fine career as a Keirin sprinter in Japan. One of the biggest sporting industries in the world. It's worth trillions of dollars, was established to rebuild after the war. It's a great platform for young sprinters, great opportunity for young sprinters. The likes of these young gentlemen here, what can they do? 47.991 set by the host team. And 10 seconds on the clock. All right, Japan out of the gate. It screams from the centre. That's Nakamura on the front, a little bit disorganised at the back, but they'll sort that out down the back straight. They're looking to knock off the top seeds of Malaysia. This is going to be quick. 18.96. How about that? That is very quick. Japan on the front foot as they head down into rider number 2 and rider number 3. Whoa, rider number 3, 32.383. He had to wipe off a whole heap of speed. Rider number 3, that's Shin Kugai, was going way too quick. He washed off some speed at turn 4, but it's still going to be a fast time. 46.950. 46.950 from Japan. They sit in the top spot. Malaysia and Japan currently 1 and 2, with Hong Kong and New Zealand Hong Kong A and New Zealand to come. Malaysia and Japan have secured a position in one of the finals. These last 2 teams are going to dictate which final it is. That first lap, in fact, all 3 laps, but that first lap was rapid. So the Malaysian Cycling Federation started the YSD track series about 3 years ago. And that first year they invited Australia over. The second year, last year, this year, a host of countries coming, really building. Put it in your calendar for 2026. Trying to get Hayley Jones to bring GB over next year, that would be really something. Totally uncompetitive GB, but it'd be nice to have Hayley over here. Just say that in case she gets to hear it. 10 seconds on the clock. All right, Hong Kong with some work to do. It's Hon that leads them out of the gate, looking for a finals berth this evening. 3 o'clock local time, we start the finals. It's going to be a fantastic evening. 19.626. Good solid time there from Hong Kong A.
Michelle's going 2 shots on one minute.
We're about to go for 3 hours.
Second lap, 33.174. Last lap coming up now.
Thank you, though.
All right, Hong Kong, last lap coming up. What can they post? It's a good time. 47.328. .328 gets them into the gold final. For now, second fastest time. Now, Schuler, Murphy and Underwood. These 3 gentlemen are very quick. .950 is the task to qualify fastest. 47.328 is the task to get into the gold final. Malaysia have got themselves into to the bronze final. Shout out to Meg Baker if you're watching from uni back in NZ. Shout out to everyone watching on the live stream, brought to you by Malaysian Cycling Federation, a wonderful group of young people here hosting the live stream. And Lucy Potts from the Golden Bin Chicken here helping me as she does back home. All right, NZ. Schuler, Murphy and Underwood. Murphy in the gate. Oh, big push there from Ben Murphy. He's absolutely torturing those handlebars. He heads down the back straight. The work to do. They're looking good. Rider number 2 is rolling up. Schuler is rolling up. It's a good changeover. Schuler, little conservative on the changeover, but it's very quick. I missed the lap time. 31.92, I believe it's the fastest time. What have they got in them here? Underwood, Alexander Underwood, he rides like a fully grown man. He's a unit, this boy. He comes around turn 4. They stop the clock. 46.111, what a time. New Zealand. They've done it again, the Kiwis. Oh, they're off to a great start, eh? They've come seeded first, finished first. So it's going to be New Zealand and Japan fighting it out for gold. And it's going to be, what did you say, John? Hong Kong A and Malaysia in the bronze final this evening. Well, what a ride from New Zealand. Schuler, Murphy and Underwood. 46.111. Would love to know what the New Zealand record is. Well, join us tonight, and that's it for the morning session. A wonderful opener of team events. Its program is that we commence at 3 o'clock. I believe from memory, it's Friday prayers from 12 till 3. So enjoy that, locals, and we'll see you at 3 o'clock, where we have the finals and the presentations. Get yourself some chicken rice.